Yeah, I'm George Howarth. I'm the Labour Member of Parliament for Knowsley, and I've just completed 11 years as a member of the Intelligence and Security Committee, so that's the background I have to these issues.
Thank you, perfect. Firstly, I would like to ask about how you found the event today. Was there any new information you learned today? And if so, how will this help you with your current position?
I think, first of all, it was a useful event, very useful event, in that people were able to talk about where the common ground was and how Islam can be interpreted in ways that is different from perhaps what we see in the general popular culture. So that was important. I think it's also important that we start a dialogue now about where the common ground is between different faiths and people from different communities. And in that sense, it was a really useful session as well. For me, it is an important part of a journey I think we have to take as a society where we understand each other better, find where the common ground exists, and find out what our common values are as well.
Perfect, thank you. Despite what Islamic fundamentalists would have us think, do you believe Islam and human rights are compatible?
I believe they can be, and I think Dr. Azmayesh's book about the Quran and the way he presents his arguments as the Quran being a dynamic rather than static document about Islam is very important, part of that dialogue, and it also emphasises how human rights, equality, the rights of women, better understanding between faiths. I mean, it was the Prophet, after all, who said, respect the people of the book. And that came out very forcibly today. And I think it's a huge counterbalance to people like the Islamic State or any other group, for that matter, Al-Qaeda or any other group, that seek to emphasize difference rather than similarity.
Thank you, perfect. What actions do you think are needed in terms of religious literacy in order to educate society?
I think it's not just a question for Islam. I think there are far too many people who would class themselves as Christian, whose Christianity is very shallow. And they need to understand that being a Christian has obligations attached to it, as well as theological beliefs. I think the same applies to every religion, and we all need to understand better what it is we think we believe in and what the origins of it are, what the values of it are, rather than the parts of it that just seek to emphasize difference.
Thank you. And my last question is, do you think there's a need for these kind of discussions and events to take place in order to help resolve such issues?
Very much so, and I also believe, and I think I said as much at the event, that we need to be going out to communities where those values and that common ground isn't so obvious, and starting up a dialogue between, I'm hoping to do something in my own constituency, for example, between people who think it is okay to say to people from Poland or the Middle East or the Indian subcontinent, are you still here? Because that is going on. And they need to understand better what different cultures bring to our society, because it isn't that they're changing everything for the worst, they're enriching our society. And secondly, I think people who are examples, living examples in the way that they work, the way they live their lives, from whether it's from the Islamic community or other religious faiths, bring something new and fresh to what are known as British values.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks.